Welcome to Rubber Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. NFL Week 4 gets underway tomorrow. So this video will be up, since it takes me about 14 hours, 15 hours to put the video up, right before kickoff probably. We have some interesting things I've noticed here. We have 5 teams 3-0. We have 4 teams 0-3. Of the 5 teams that are undefeated, New England, Baltimore, Denver, Philadelphia, Minnesota. 4 of these 5 teams have one thing in common. Question marks at quarterback. New England. Yes, I know. New England, question mark at quarterback. Tom Brady suspended for the first 4 games. 1 more game left. Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt. He's going to play hurt with his shoulder injury. Jacoby, what's his name, the rookie, he broke his thumb. Julian Edelman's been their backup, listed as their backup quarterback for 2 weeks in a row. Baltimore's got Joe Flacco, that's solid quarterback there. Denver, the retirement of Peyton Manning. They have Tracy Simeon, second year player who Mark Sanchez should have had a job he would have played. He plays crappy. Tracy Simeon gets the job. He's just holding the job till Paxton Lynch is ready. Philadelphia mortgages the future to draft up to get second to take Carson Wentz, which the Rams should have took. Cleveland's going to be shooting themselves in the foot. Here we have a rookie that's 3-0. Minnesota, their quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, blows a knee out in preseason. These runs around to find, Sean Hill's their backup. He can't start all year. They go get Sam Bradford. Adrian Peterson goes down with a meniscus tear. He's out for the year. And they're 3-0. Unbelievable. The 4 teams that are 0-3, New Orleans, Drew Brees is their quarterback. Chicago, Jay Cutler's their quarterback. Big shocker, they're 0-3. Jacksonville, Blake Bortles, he's supposed to be the future. That team's supposed to be great this year. I had him picked for the playoffs. And then Cleveland is just a hot mess. Doesn't matter if you have a star quarterback or if you don't. You can be undefeated or you can be winless. Let's get started on the games. The AFC East versus the AFC North on Thursday Night Football. We have the 1-2 Miami Dolphins versus the 1-2 Cincinnati Bengals. Miami's 0-2 on the road this year. Wow, this is the first time since 2011 that Cincinnati started 1-2. I got Cincinnati winning. They're favored by 7.5. I have Miami covering the 7.5. I'm taking under 44.5. AFC South matchup, we have the Indianapolis Colts 1-2 versus the shockingly winless Jacksonville Jaguars at 0-3. Indy favored by 2.5 on the road. I got them winning, covering under 49. NFC South matchup here, we have the former NFC Conference champions, Carolina Panthers at 1-2 versus the 2-1 Atlanta Falcons. Carolina is favored by 3 on the road. I have them winning. I have Atlanta winning. I'm giving them the 3. Sorry, 3 points is the line. I'm giving Atlanta the 3 points. They'll win, cover the 3 points, and over on the 50. AFC West versus AFC North. Oakland Raiders at 2-1 versus the 3-0 Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore is favored by 3.5 at home. I like the way the Raiders are playing. I like Derek Carr. I want to see Oakland go into Baltimore and win. So I'm giving Oakland the 3.5. Got the Raiders winning. Hopefully in a few years, the Las Vegas Raiders. I have them winning, covering the 3.5 and under 46.5. AFC South matchup, we have the formerly known as the Houston Oilers, Tennessee Titans at 1-2 versus the Houston Texans at 2-1. The Battle of Texas, the former current Houston teams. Houston favored by 5.5 at home. Rumor is, I read online that J.J. Watt re-injured his back. He may be missing a significant amount of time. Hopefully, Brock Osweiler and Andrew Hopkins, I believe his name is, the wide receiver. I believe I got that right. Hopefully they can hold down the fort until J.J. Watt gets back, but I do have Houston winning, covering the 5.5. Oh, no, sorry. Houston winning, Tennessee covering the 5.5, and then under the 40.5 on the points. AFC East matchup, the 1-2 Buffalo Bills versus the surprising 3-0 New England Patriots. New England favored by 4.5 at home. They'll cover that over in the 42. No matter who the quarterback is this week, either it be Jimmy Garoppolo or Julian Edelman or whoever it is, just throw the ball to Gronkowski, please. He's not hurt last week. Why didn't he play? It killed me in fantasy. NFC West matchup next versus the AFC East. We have Seattle Seahawks, the 2-1 versus the 1-2 New York Jets. Seattle's favored by 1.5 on the road. I'm actually taking the Jets to win at home. They'll cover the 1.5 and over on the 47.5. Next, we have the AFC North versus NFC East. We have Cleveland Browns at 0-3 versus the 1-2 Washington Redskins. Washington favored by 7.5 at home. I have Washington winning. I think the Browns will cover the 7.5 and picking over on the 45.5. NFC North matchup, the 1-2 Detroit Lions versus the 0-3 Chicago Bears. Detroit favored by 2.5 at home, or on the road, excuse me. I have Detroit winning. At Chicago, I had Detroit covering the 2.5 and over on the 46. AFC West versus NFC South. We have the defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 1-2. The Broncos are undefeated. Broncos are favored by 3 on the road. I think after what we've seen Tracy Simeon do on his road debut last week, the best numbers ever by a quarterback in their first road start. I think the second one will be just as good. Denver winning, covering the 3 points and over on the 44. NFC West matchup, we have the Los Angeles Rams at 2-1. Rams 2-1 versus the 1-2 Arizona Cardinals. How the Rams have won 2 straight, I'll never know. They have a net points for the year as negative 17. And they're won 2 straight. Worst among all division leaders at negative 17 net points. Arizona's net points plus 16. Arizona favored by 7.5 at home. Over under 43. Taking the Cardinals at home. Battle of former St. Louis teams. And neither of them are in St. Louis. That is so weird to say. Both these teams came from were in St. Louis. The Cardinals originally in St. Louis, moved to Arizona. The Los Angeles Rams, originally in LA. Were they originally in San Diego or something, I think? Went to LA. Went to St. Louis. Back to LA. So I don't think anybody in St. Louis is going to be watching this game. I have Arizona winning, covering the 7.5 and under on the 43. AFC South versus AFC West. We have the New Orleans Saints at 0-3 versus the San Diego Chargers at 1-2. San Diego favored by 3.5 at home. Cover over on the 53.5. AFC East versus NFC West. The surprising Dallas Cowboys at 2-1 versus the 1-2 San Francisco 49ers. Same Friends favored by a field goal at home. I'm giving that the 3 points to Dallas. Dallas wins, covers. Over on the 46. AFC West versus AFC North. This game could actually come down to these two teams could be fighting for a wild card. So this game, the winner of this game gets a leg up and hopefully in the wild card. They don't get to their divisions. Kansas City Chiefs at 2-1 versus Pittsburgh Steelers at 2-1. Pittsburgh favored by 5.5 at home. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 47.5. And then on Monday Night Football, we have NFC East versus the NFC North. We have the New York Football Giants at 2-1 versus the Minnesota Vikings at 3-0. Minnesota favored by 4.5 on the road. Without Bridgewater, now with Sam Bradford, who's 2-0 and starting quarterback for the Vikings. No Adrian Peterson. Minnesota wins. They go to 4-0. They cover the 4.5 and under on the 43. As always, thanks for watching my Sports Show. Don't just have a great night. Have an American night.